Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and those who have yet to make up their minds. I am your host, JustJack.com, and we welcome you to subscribe to our newsletter at our website, www.justjack.com. Yes, that's just Jack with two S's because one just ain't enough. Now let's get on with the show because today is Tarot Tuesday, where we flip the cards and shift the business. From cards to clients, this is your energetic business forecast where your woo woo meets your work. Just kidding. I always feel like a disc jockey whenever I do my openings. My goodness gracious. But for real though, let's get serious. Well, not serious, but let's just get real for a moment because each week I like to pull a card or two and really decode, I guess you could say, decode the collective business energy so that way we can, align and act and attract from the inside out. I don't really like doing hustle over here in my corner of the world. I like harmony, and I don't just speak. I preach. There's a preacher in there somewhere, and I got to let him out every now and then. But these messages really are for the ones who've been silently pushing, praying, posting, and holding it all together. Let this be your reset, if that is you. Let this be your realignment. Let this be your reminder, because business is not just a brand or a niche. It's a spiritual agreement. Okay? So I'm just going to shuffle here and I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to pull a few cards and we'll see what the cards say for this week of June 17, 2025. Okay, so let's see, of course. Okay, first out, the Three of Swords. Yes, comes straight for the jugular. You already know the symbolism, right? Especially those of you guys who've gotten readings from me. Lots of us pull out this Three of Swords. The swords, three swords piercing a heart under gray skies. Okay, and when we look at the heart, this is your passion, your dream, your baby, and it's not only been penetrated, it's been pierced by three swords. These aren't random. Each sword represents a truth that you've had to face in business specifically. Remember, I'm only doing these readings are for the business collective because lots of my students are business leaders and they run online businesses, and so I do it really for them. And this is just the blessing that comes from it. So these three swords, they could be betrayal. Maybe a client ghosted you, or a team member let you down, or an audience you poured into didn't respond. Betrayal of some sorts. The Judas kiss, you could call it in your business. A realization. Number two, the second sword could be a realization that something you loved ain't working anymore. And the third is a silent grief, a grieving, maybe a grieving over the version of success that you thought you would have by now. And of course, there's the gray sky and rain, and nothing's clear right now. This is the moment you can't fake. You've outgrown something, but you don't know what's next, and you're tired of being the strong one, the leader, the healer, the one who holds space for everybody else. And this symbolism. This symbolism may feel like maybe this card is the one that we wish we could skip over. But what most people miss out, what they miss out on, is that the heart is still whole. And this card isn't about the wound. It's about what has survived it. Okay. The card is saying, feel it. You know, the heart beats, the heart wants to beat. The heart is the first functioning organ, yes, in the body. And so when we think about the heart, it's been with us since day one. It's seen every heartbreak, every betrayal, every hurt, and it still manages to fix itself. And the heart, the great thing about the heart is no matter what happens to it, she will continue to stay whole and stitch up everything for herself. And all you got to do is feel it. You don't need to rebrand it. You don't need to spiritual bypass it. You're allowed to grieve what didn't go the way you planned. You're allowed to do that. Maybe your last offer flopped. I don't know. Maybe your voice is tired. Maybe you launched a thing that nobody signed up for. And here's the truth I need you to hear. Maybe it wasn't failure. Maybe it was a funeral. You're not failing, you're releasing. You're not broken, you're being refined. This card is the pause before the comeback. And the pause is necessary, you know, that sacred stillness that says, let the tears fall now. Let them fall now. Let your tears fall now so your clarity can rise later. From a business strategy, you could reevaluate where your effort has been going. Are you people pleasing? Or are you purpose aligning? There's a big difference. You know, this week, don't post from your highlight reel, post from your healing. Be vulnerable, say something real. Let people see the version of you that's rising through the rupture. Let them see it. Honey, let me tell you, the audience loves a blooper reel, okay? And we don't know why, but they just do, you know? Because I promise you, somebody's miracle is hiding inside of your heartbreak story. That's for dang sure. And that story is where your next aligned clients will find you. So, sorry, I had to drink some water. Stop selling from your wounds and start leading from your wisdom. That's a good one. I like to do embodied practices, so maybe you could embodied practices, practical. Well, embodied is a good word too. Yeah, embodied practice is a good word, but practical practices. Write a letter. Write a letter to the version of yourself that's grieving a failed launch or a lost client or a broken vision. Let that person know it's okay to grieve. But then burn it and then say out loud, even when things fall apart, I rise in alignment. It's my duty, my pleasure. And maybe your affirmation can be, my heartbreak is holy, my failure is fertilizer, my purpose is intact. Okay, let's pull the next card. Oh, the Nine of the Wands. Nine of Wands reverse. Ooh, the Burnout card just flipped itself right upside down. So it shows a person with 8 wands behind them and 1 wand in their hand, and wands represent what we create, yes? And so the Nine of Wands reverses is what happens when you keep pushing even when your body is begging you to pause. There goes that pause again, right? Something that's saying it's time to stop and breathe for this moment. You know, that one that we see him holding on to, you know, he's holding on to everything and everyone. This one's about holding on long after you should have set it down. The Nine of Wands reversed is the kind of tired you don't even talk about anymore, sister, because you already tried to explain it and people don't get it. So now you just carry it quietly. This is the card that shows up when your body keeps going but your soul is screaming for rest. When we look at the card, it's not just a person with wands. I mean, it's a wounded warrior, bandaged from on his head. His head is bandaged, worn face, still standing, but let's be real, this isn't about strength, and we both know it. This one, he is in survival mode and reversed. It's not noble anymore, my darling. It's numbing. When we see the Eight of Wands behind them, these are the things that you've already overcome. You know, wands represent what we create, what we've already created. You've already overcome the battles you fought, the posts that you've written, the lives you've changed. But now, it's almost as if you're stuck defending things that are already complete. The ninth wand in the child's hand, in their hand, in this person's hand, this wounded warrior, the ninth wand that they're holding, you're holding a story, a brand, a business model, or maybe an identity that no longer matches your anointing. It's almost as if the card is whispering, you don't have to prove yourself anymore. That launch you keep forcing, let it go. That client you keep pleasing, set a boundary. That platform you keep showing up on just because you should, reconsider, boo. The card says you're holding the weight of old versions of you who were just trying to be worthy, but baby, you are worthy, and you've always been worthy. You don't need one more testimonial, one more funnel, one more strategy sprint. Girl, what you need is a retreat. And I mean retreat, like not go to the mountains and, find yourself. I mean retreat, step back. Stop. Step back. Not because you're weak, but because your nervous system is screaming for a new normal. This is not normal to your your nervous system needs a new normal. One that's softer, one that's slower, that's surer, more sure, one that honors the you that you've become, because real power doesn't hustle to prove. Real power chooses peace like it's a profit strategy. Rest isn't rebellion. It's revolutionary stewardship of your sacred energy. Your nervous system is one of your most powerful business tools. You can't lead a movement while ignoring the movement inside our own body. Business-wise, this card is a wake-up call from your own energy. If you've been working on something that feels heavy, let yourself pause. This may just be the time to delay that launch. Push back the deadline just a little bit. Maybe even tell your audience, I'm realigning. And I suggest you do the same. Because burnout doesn't build empires. Boundaries do. And a rested version of you? Let me tell you, a rested version of you will do more in 2 hours than your burnt out self could do in 2 weeks. So stop proving and start protecting. Schedule 2 hours this week alone. Schedule 2 hours for soul work, not business tasks. Soul work. Ask your soul, yourself, what feels light, what feels heavy, what feels holy. And affirm, I don't hustle for worth. I rest to remember who I am. Let me pull the next card. The Queen of Cups reverse. Now that's the spiritual CEO who forgot she's allowed to receive. Come on, it makes sense, right? You're moving, you've been moving, pouring, holding, but who holds you? Right? Who holds you? You're trying to run a heart-centered business while bypassing your own heart. Makes sense with the Three of Swords. It makes sense when the Three of Swords would come in. I mean, there's your heart card. Listen, the Queen of Cups, this card isn't loud. All right? It doesn't scream for attention. It shows up with glassy eyes and quiet lips and a smile so practiced it could win an Oscar. The Queen of Cups reverse isn't about what you show. It's about what what you suppress, really. And if this one is coming to you, it's because you've been trying to build a business with your intuition wrapped in bubble wrap. You've been editing your emotions so you can stay professional, but your feelings are your formula. Let's talk about the card. I mean, when we look at the card, the Queen of Cups reversed, um, the throne on water, right? She's not standing on solid ground. She's anchored in emotion, and when reversed, those waves become overwhelming. She's no longer grounded. She's barely drifting. And we also see the covered cup, which she's the only queen to have the covered cup. And this isn't an open offering. It's protected, sacred, sealed, upright. She honors it. But reversed, she ignores it. What are you ignoring? She's disconnected from her own emotional truth while trying to help everyone else find theirs. And when we look at the queen herself, regal, intuitive, right? Especially the Queen of Cups. Cups represent things that come to you. She's intuitive. But when flipped, she becomes the martyr, the overgiver, the one who stays silent in rooms where she should have spoken. I mean, it's the version of you who coaches others through their breakthroughs but doesn't leave time for your own. I mean, this card is for the woman running an emotional economy in her business. She's given empathy as a currency. She's leading people with her heart wide open, but quietly she's starting to resent it. You know why? Because she hasn't created a structure to pour back into herself. The reverse queen says you've become your own unpaid therapist. People come to you for their problems and you fix their problems. But when it comes to yours, you're holding the tears of your clients, holding the vision of your team, holding the weight of your legacy. And now the sacred question, who is going to hold you? Who's holding you? Because the most dangerous thing isn't a blocked funnel or a slow month. It's a leader who's emotionally bankrupt. It's the woman who shows up smiling in her stories and then cries during checkout because she's tired of pretending that she's okay. When we look at the Queen of Cups, okay, upright, right? Just for contrast. Upright, the Queen of Cups is your soul in flow, okay? She feels deeply without drowning. But reversed, she's underwater and calling it a strategy. She's mislabeling overgiving as a service. She's letting her sensitivity become a silent suffering. Reversed says you don't need a new offer. You need to remember why you love the work in the first place, because when your business starts to feel like betrayal to your nervous system, your body will sabotage what your soul used to celebrate. Mark my words. So this week, maybe some spiritual instruction would be to hold your own hand before you hold anyone else's this week. Put your own mask on before you help somebody else. Make an emotional budget. Who gets your energy? Who's getting your energy and why? Why do they get to get the sacred stuff? Why? What makes them so special? I want to know. Pull back from your audience if your inner child feels abandoned by your work. And get out your business journal. Get out your business journal and journal, where am I giving because I'm afraid to receive? This week, let your content feel, cry in a voice note. I always tell my students, go DM, slide up in the DMs and be yourself, be your authentic self. Nobody likes somebody who slides up in their DMs as a nasty prince from whatever country they're from. I know I'm beautiful. Tell me something I don't know, okay? I got a mirror. I know what I look like. When you slide in the DMs, be yourself, be your true self. Maybe even cry in a voice note. Be authentic. Let your caption be a confession. You don't need to be polished. You need to be present. Sorry, I need to drink more water. This card is your reminder that empathy, for those of you guys who are empaths, not narcissistic empaths, of course, but those of you guys who are empaths, remember, this card is your reminder that empathy is sacred, but only when it includes you. You have to be okay. Business strategy without emotional sovereignty is just burnout on a calendar. So refill your cup. Redirect your yes. Reclaim your softness as a strategy. How about that? Do some mirror work. Look yourself in the eye. Really look yourself in the eye and say, I forgive you for abandoning yourself in the name of service. Then say, I am safe to be supported. And affirm with me, I deserve the love I give. My intuition leads. My emotions are my compass. Okay, let's pull the last card. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck for us. Ah, the star reversed. Yes, we've been pretty deep today. We've been pretty deep today. Maybe you cried, maybe you confessed, maybe you cracked wide open. I don't know. But now, so fitting that the star reversed shows up, not to break you, but to remind you, because this is the card that comes when your business starts to feel dim. Not broken, not dead, just disconnected from the brilliance that it once had. Maybe you've been feeling like the light left the building. Maybe. The star reverse is here to say you are the light. You just stopped looking in the mirror. When we look at the star card, of course, we see the water that she pours, and in the upright position, she flows effortlessly between physical and spiritual. Right? We see the heavens and the earth. But reversed, that flow is blocked. She's pouring, but she's not being poured into. You see, it's one-way energy. The same thing we saw with the upside down Queen of Cups. The nakedness that we see in the star, the vulnerability, her authenticity. What did I just talk to you guys about? The DMs. Reversed, it's covered up. She's been filtering her truth, polishing her presence, drinking her soul to fit the niche. And we see, lots of stars above, of course, on the card, lots of stars above, divine alignment, in tune with the cosmic guidances, right? But upside down, she's doubting the universe. Maybe you're even wondering if spirit forgot you. I've been there at those times. My God, why have you forsaken me? I've been there. We've all been there, This happens to all of us. Wondering if maybe our time has passed, if we missed the moment. We didn't. You didn't. You are right where you belong. This card is for the visionary. Specifically, upside down, the visionary who stopped believing in their own vision. Maybe your content feels flat. Maybe you've been hiding in plain sight. Maybe the numbers dipped and now you're questioning if you're even called to do this anymore. The star reversed says, you've been running your business like a lamp unplugged. And what happens? What do we do to bring the light? Plug it in, plug it in. Plug it in. Who are you going to plug into? Plug into the universe. All that is. Plug into love. Plug into power. Plug into presence. You pick the P. P. Peace. You're still here. You're still posting. You're still showing up in team meetings, still checking in with your clients, but where's the light? Where's your voice? Where's the part of you that used to get goosebumps talking about the work that you do in the universe? Maybe you've gotten so strategic, you forgot you were sacred. So the star is saying, come back home. Bring it on home to me. Come back. Come back to the version of you who don't need permission to be powerful. Come back. Come back to the voice that don't care about the algorithm. Come back. Come back to the fire. Because the world doesn't need more content creators. It needs more light workers who remember who they are. I'm going to get vulgar now, so you may want to fast forward about 5 to 10 seconds, but I just wrote in my journal not too long ago, I love when I remember who the fuck I am. You just need to remember who you are, upright. When we look at the star upright, the star is pure faith, pure inspiration. It's hope dripping from the heavens and landing in your palms. That's what it has the potential to be. That's what you have the potential to be. But reverse, it's when your palms are still open, but you stop believing anything sacred is going to fall into them. This is when you start comparing, right? When you start second guessing your gifts. When you scroll too long and suddenly forget you're a whole damn miracle. Let me stop cussing. Reverse means you didn't lose your light. You just got disconnected from your source. So plug back in. Just plug back in. You don't need a content plan this week. You don't need a cosmic reunion with yourself. Just do something for yourself this week, purely for joy, not for metrics. Go back to your first post, to your first offer, your first vision. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, I am the light I've been waiting for. I am the light I seek. Get out your business journal and ask yourself, where did I dim to be digestible? This week, if this is resonating with you, this week, don't force the strategy. Remember the spirit and the soul behind it. If you've been drained, dull, or doubting, pause. The star reverse says, your next breakthrough isn't in your funnel, it's in your faith. Create something this week that reminds you why you ever said yes in the first place. Go back to that space. Because no one follows a business that's perfect. They follow a business that feels alive. And your aliveness, that's your brand. Being alive. We can see when people are alive or when they're dimly lit and barely glowing. We know when people are alive. We can see it. We see the magic in their eyes. We see when they're dimly lit and barely glowing. We see those women, those Queen of Cups reversed with glossy eyes and happy lips that are trembling because they're about to cry and have a breakdown. This reading is reminding you, before you have the breakdown, let's have a breakthrough, darling. Light a candle. Speak this over your life. Speak this over your business. Light a candle and say, I remember now I am the light. I am the miracle I was waiting for. If this reading touched your soul today, if you got chills or a whisper or a feeling thinking, how did she know? I just read the cards, all right? I knew what I was doing. I knew I had to give a collective reading for Tarot Tuesday. Hello. And I knew that this is my calling. This is what I'm supposed to do today. And I had the intention to move out of my way and do it. And so if this is talking to you, this wasn't random. This was a recall notice on your gifts. So here's what we can do next. You can book a reading with me. If you book today, they're $35, and we can go deep into your business strategy, into your energy, into your life path, maybe see some spiritual blocks. So that way everything flows, because you deserve clarity, not confusion. Let's be honest. So $35 gets that. And that's a one-on-one. We can do it on Zoom, or we can do it over the phone. Either way, your choice, Joyce. And join our $25 monthly membership. This is where we dive deeper. Soul meets strategy. We don't just build offers, we build legacies, right? With rituals and tools and marketing prompts and aligned action, not just hustle. We do it from the inside out. So you can direct message me, you can DM, you can slide up in my DMs. Even if you don't want to book or join our membership, you can slide up in our DMs and say, hey, I really enjoyed the tarot reading, thank you, or whatever you want to say. And sign up for our freebies at our website, justjack.com /justjack.com. But if you do want to see more offers that I have, maybe you're reading or a consultation, or you want to book me, you can go to our website, justjack.com /about me. And that's at the very bottom of our website. But I just want to remind you before we head out, you're not late. You're not broken. You don't need to be fixed. You are Kairos. You are in God's perfect timing. You are on divine time. So rise up and take your seat at the table that you were born to lead. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. I don't like to do doom and gloom, so if this one was too much, come next Tuesday. I'll make sure that I've set the intention to give a nice, positive, powerful, good feeling message next Tuesday. So lots of love. Peace out. Bye, Felicia.